Welcome to Market Like It's Hot, the podcast where strategy sizzles and marketing nonsense goes to die. I am Yasmine Robles, and with me as always is Izzy Dodosky from Rebel Marketing. Around here, we're not just chasing trends just to chase them, because I hate running, posting just to post, or burning ourselves out trying to go viral. Instead, we talk about what actually works, real marketing strategies, honest conversations, and the lessons business owners can use right away. Whether you're leading a team, growing an organization, or trying to make smarter marketing decisions with limited time and resources, you're in the right place. Hey, Izzy, how are you doing?
Good as I can be. How about you?
I am great. I am on my second, I think this is a 20-ounce container of coffee. So Izzy.
Yeah.
Izzy. What happened when the blue ship and the red ship collided at sea?
They made a purple ship?
The crews were marooned.
Marooned?
Yeah, the crews were marooned. Yeah. It's a little bit of designer funny right there. Okay. I think Alma will be so excited when we have a guest back on this show.
Sorry, Alma.
And yes, you can keep that in there.
Oh, God.
All right. So let's dive in. So we're going to be talking about really nonprofit organizations and their marketing and what happens when nobody really owns marketing. So it turns out that everyone in the nonprofit owns marketing. And this can happen for businesses as well. So if for us, we are marketers, but for some other businesses, if you are a law firm or, I don't know, an employment agency, everybody ends up doing a little bit of the marketing. And what happens when that happens. So that's our topic for today. Are you excited, Izzy?
I am thrilled.
Yeah, you look very thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to kick off the first question to you, Izzy. How does an organization end up in this situation where everyone owns marketing?
Well, there's a few off the top of my head. One, money.
Yes.
So whether that means they don't have enough, well, it always is that they don't have enough money. So they'll put all the marketing typically on one team member. This is not good because then that one team member gets frustrated because they're doing the job of 10 people. And I know I've ranted about that on this podcast before, so then I'll just go on to my next example. Growth, where they have a larger marketing team or they're training people where they don't have them directly in the position yet. So then that goes on to other team members. Or just turnover too. If people are no longer in that position, then that job falls onto somebody else. Or if just the organization's small. If it is a small organization, everybody just starts to chip in a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then, what can I do for this? Or how can I help with that? But the thing is, not everybody's good at marketing. So not everybody in the organization needs to be doing marketing. But that's my take.
Yeah, I agree. I think what I have seen is that there's always that one person that is either excited about it or has a TikTok account, right? And so somebody else will think, oh, then you'd be great to tackle this one thing. And it starts to grow. And usually that person then gets overloaded or burnt out. And then it lands on, well, let's divide and conquer, right? So Izzy's going to handle this. And Alma's going to handle that. And all of these people are handling different parts of marketing, but the marketing becomes really disjointed. Like nobody's talking to anyone else. So what are the first signs that marketing ownership is unclear? Like if you were to look at an organization, you'd just be like, nah, they don't know what they're doing.
Missing deadlines because again, it's all on one person. So that's a little hard for that one person to accomplish all these tasks that are being put on them, especially because depending on what they're doing, if it's like editing a video or recording a video or making social posts, that's kind of time consuming to also come up with the caption. Because, hey guys, don't just put it into ChatGPT and think that's good enough to post it. We all know. You're not fooling anybody. Also, that you kind of nowadays lose credibility doing that too. So just don't think that's your solution to your marketing. Mixed messaging. So again, if like 10 different people are running an account and they don't really have those brand guidelines established, they're going to have 10 different ideas of what this brand actually is. And that just makes it a little complicated when it comes to tone, colors, anything. Or again, that person who decides to put it in AI when everybody else has been like actually making stuff. It will ruin exactly like what you've been trying to do within the marketing. Because again, there's no established brand there. And then again, with just timing, trying to get stuff out quicker than it is just like making sure the quality is there. I see that a lot too. So, yeah.
Yeah, on the AI note, I know we can't get away from it, but I would say use AI wisely. So, for example, you can upload all of your, if you do have a brand guide and a brand tone of voice, and you have all of these documents, you have your mission statement, you have all the things, right? You can upload them depending on your choice of AI. Claude, you can create a skill. I think you can still do that with ChatGPT, but you basically upload everything, and then it should, when you prompt it correctly, give you ideas that would be better suited for, that won't sound like every other organization or business out there. I think that the biggest mistake and the easiest one to fix is just going in a blank slate going, I just need I need captions for this social post. I am a
Yeah.
nonprofit. That's like the biggest mistake and the easiest one to fix, I think.
Can I add on that?
Yeah.
Can I add on that? I would say I'm pretty anti AI. But in this world, you have to use AI. I try to Google search things instead of using ChatGPT, and what is Google now? Google Gemini, and I get an AI answer anyway. So there's no avoiding it, and I'm aware of that, and it's completely fine. But if you're going to use it intelligently. And by that I mean give it examples of your personality.
Mm-hmm.
If you've written, let me think of the way that I could say this. If you've written things before, like a blog post that you actually have written yourself, or a social post, and you give it different examples of what your tone of voice is and different things like that, I think it can help you when you have those issues sometimes during the day. It's like 4 p.m. You're trying to come up with a caption. You already have it kind of written down, but you just need it tweaked a little bit. That's when I think AI can come in and help some people. And again, there's like other things that can help, like cut videos, other things that are great to use. All I'm saying is don't just sit there and be in your ChatGPT like, when does the sun set? What? How do you make the color red? Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't hit the chat thing and just walk around constantly like, "Hi, ChatGPT, how are you today?" It's gonna be your yes man, and then you're gonna go into psychosis. Let's not do that. Okay?
Yeah, now if somebody is walking around Izzy talking to their ChatGPT, maybe that's a sign that you need to maybe get a therapist or like, oh, that too. Yeah.
Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
all I'm saying is too,
if you can't make friends, if there's something, always take a shower. That might be the issue.
And preach.
With soap.
And preach. Deodorant.
And the butt.
Use it.
Yeah. Wipe. Anyway, back to your AI.
But all I'm saying is, if you are just using AI in an unintelligent way, it will just keep telling you you are right. And it will keep feeding you misinformation.
Yes.
So don't do that. I'm sure if I like told ChatGPT, like, hey, I'm gonna go jump off a building on Friday. Do you think this is a good idea? It's like, hey, Izzy, yeah, I think that's a really cool idea, but like, let's work that out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, prompts really help. Make sure to tell your ChatGPT, I have to tell it to be mean or to be stern, or I just tell it don't be as nice. I haven't told it to be an asshole yet, but maybe I should try that.
Tell ChatGPT to be an asshole.
Yeah, like before I put my question in.
See, the times that I use mine the most is, can you make this sound nicer? Because I know that my tone of voice comes off a certain way sometimes when I don't mean it to.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I've used it to try and not be passive aggressive, but I think it knows that I am passive aggressive. So then I have to actually run it through Izzy. And then Izzy's like, yeah, remove that line. Okay, so you can go back and listen to all of our rants about AI, or maybe if you would like to know more about our opinions on AI and how you can use it, let us know. But I agree, missed deadlines, you're sending mixed messages, there's always some kind of fire drill that you're trying to fix with your marketing. I would say that some warning signs are also if your social media is saying one thing and your you're blogging about something completely different, and then the person who is out doing the in-person networking is saying something completely different from your business. Yeah, that's an issue. As a nonprofit, as an example, if you are doing some kind of event and you're posting about it on social, but your people forget to mention it, or there's no flyer, or it's not mentioned on your website, it's not prominent on your website, that's an issue.
Yeah. Yasmine, what's the difference between everyone contributing to marketing and everyone directing marketing?
Oh, this is my favorite when everyone tries to direct marketing. We've worked with a lot of nonprofits and with their marketing, and nonprofits, chambers, and sometimes just small businesses that there's no one source of truth for the official marketing decision. Like nobody wants to handle that. And the difference between everyone contributing versus everyone directing marketing is that, okay, if you think of contributing, that means, let's say you are a chamber. That means your board is submitting information so that your marketing agency can utilize it for social media, and they're just not posting whatever it is that they can find, right? So there's maybe a form, or your board members are asking the different department heads to submit things, submit wins, submit testimonials. That is a contributing team. When everyone is directing, that means nobody is gathering anything for your agency or for whomever it is that's marketing. And everyone's just saying, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Or wouldn't it be cool if we changed the color palette, or wouldn't it be cool if we ran this on social media because this other organization or business is doing it? And that's directing. That's just, how do I put this nicely? You have the best
I won't
intention.
put it nicely.
Oh, okay. I'll put it nicely, and then Izzy will translate. Okay.
Yeah.
You have the best intentions, and sometimes you are an accountant, or you don't do necessarily a lot with marketing, but you have a Pinterest board, and I know that you come from the best place, but you saying let's hop on this trend or let's post more often isn't necessarily backed by stats. How would you translate that, Izzy?
Let's just give this this fake person a name. Let's call him Steve. Okay.
Okay.
So Steve walks in and he's telling everybody how this marketing should be run, because he's been with this organization for a very long time and he thinks he knows how it should be going. Okay. Steve's probably 55 years old, 60 years old. Has never been in the marketing department. He's a finance guy. Okay. And he walks in, he says, Well, from what my people say on Facebook,
Warning sign, yeah, Facebook.
we should be doing this. And that's just the way it's going to be. Hey, Steve, let's take a pause here real quick. Maybe you should ask the people who are actively in this industry what they think about what's going on with your current thing. Maybe implement some ideas because you've been in the organization for so long, and help them when they're asking for help. If you're feeling it's not aligning with the brand, then go have that conversation with the marketing people, because they typically always have some kind of strategy behind what they're doing. They can show you those stats of what they're doing. Let them roam free, because they typically have a better understanding of what's going on in the marketing world than your friends on Facebook. So instead of directing in that manner, you can always be like, this is what I was thinking about, instead of ordering, and then have that conversation in a better way instead of making it a threat. And that's my take.
Yeah, I think, Steve has a lot of good skills, right? And he's been with the organization for a long time. So he's valuable. And he's been able to see that, let's say it's a, 50-year-old organization. He's been able to see that shift, right? If he's been there for a long time. Steve would have great historical knowledge of what has been done in the past. He would have great ideas of what hasn't worked, right? What projects flopped, and maybe ideas on why. But Steve might have make better use of his time by helping gather testimonials, like if he wants to be more involved that way. One of the best examples that I love for social media is the Columbus Public Library. Like their social media, it is. I feel like they are being let to roam free and ideate and bring ideas to the table that that some organizations would just kind of squash, like Steve might squash, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, if we're using the Columbus Public Library again as an example, this is what this used to look like posts or like history. And if Steve's been in that organization so long, Steve, share that stuff with the people who are doing the marketing, because that's actually interesting to look at. Also, I hope nobody thinks that I'm picking the name Steve to just like diss someone. There's Stone Cold Steve Austin on my wall right there. That's why I picked that name. So, not directed at anybody, but that's what I think.
I don't know any Steves, so...
Yeah, I just took a look around. That picture was right there. I was like, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, we're going with Steve.
Okay. All right, Izzy. So have you seen organizations where the loudest voice wins instead of the strategy? Do those exist?
This may shock some people. This does exist. And the thing is, I've seen this in every size organization as well. So small organizations, when it's typically a very small team, and it might be the owner with a small team, they typically just get the main say in those types of situations. And then also large corporate organizations, you'd be shocked that this also does happen. The loudest voice, again, sometimes people take other things as competition, I would say, or a threat to their position. I don't know how to say this. So sometimes their voice they think is constantly correct because they don't want to be told that they're wrong. Which is, again, not always the situation. But sometimes the loudest voice, or the person who is constantly talking in the meetings and will let somebody else get their word in. It doesn't even have to be a boss. It can be a coworker. Sometimes that does win. And it's all situational. I can't give 100 examples right now because it probably happens every day in a different company, a different way. But I would say, instead of listening to the loudest voice, always go back to your brand strategy and look if it aligns. And if it doesn't align, how can we tweak that to align it with our brand strategy? So
yeah, it's the loudest voice, or usually that loudest voice is also not in the know of what the scope is, right? So
yeah.
they might be part of a group of people getting together for whatever project, and they will just start regurgitating things, but they don't know that the scope is very limited, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they don't know, or they might have missed a couple meetings, and then they'll say, can't we do this? Well, we talked literally about that in the other meeting, and this. So what I'm saying is that it's not always, you should not necessarily listen to the loudest voice. Yes, you should take it into account, but then can you pull in whomever hasn't spoken yet? Can you pull in other people to see what their, even if it's in private, what their thoughts are? Also, if you see that you are the loudest voice, know that people are probably talking behind your back. Like if you are constantly the loudest voice, let's say you're on I don't know, in a group let's say it's marketing. You're in for marketing, and you're like, we should really post on Facebook more often. Facebook is the bomb and we should do it. And everyone's like, Steve, we're going to pick on Steve again. Yeah, Steve, well, maybe we shouldn't do that because that's not where our audience is. And Steve's like, no, we really should. When they say, fine, Steve, let's look into if we can post more often on Facebook. You know they're turning around and going, God damn, Steve. Like, damn it,
God.
Steve. And they're probably talking about like, well, we have to do it because Steve wants it and he just won't drop it. So I guess Steve, I'm so sorry, but like people are talking behind your back. Now, if you're a Steve and you bring data, or you're like, this is, I did some research, this is what where our audience is this generation. They are on Facebook and they really like Facebook and all of the AI videos and everything that I try to avoid on Facebook. And they like to look at their high school reunion group that never really gets together. Maybe if that is your stats and you've got that information, give that to the marketing team so they can come up with a really good strategy, not just post more often on Facebook. If we're still going with Steve is part of finance.
Yeah. And sometimes, okay. As someone who's accidentally the loudest person in the room, sometimes just because of the hearing loss thing and the fact that I can't shut up type thing, I always ask people in the room too, when I know I'm the loudest voice, what their opinions are. Because I know that I'm just going to speak my opinion like I usually do, but people expect that from me. When I'm silent, everybody thinks something's wrong with me. But I always make sure to ask like what they thought about that, or if this another person's been silent and they're the only one who's been silent. I don't want to X them out of this conversation because they don't feel comfortable enough to just say it on their own. So it's making sure if you are that person too, to make sure you're including people in on the conversation.
Yeah. I guess this goes more towards leadership. Being involved in NABO, I have as VP of programming, yes, I have my ideas and I will state my ideas, but I do try to open the floor for contradicting ideas. There's things that we have attempted and that the person who is in that call has historical knowledge, and she's like, we've attempted this, it didn't work out, but how about we pivot it to try it again. So you don't know what opinions or ideas are going to come out of it if you just want to be the loudest one and the one that's correct all the time. But if you bring in those people, it just makes for a better brainstorming, better marketing. Yeah.
Why do marketing committees often struggle to make decisions? I can tell you why, but you go ahead.
I'll start and then you can go. Okay, so marketing committees really struggle to make decisions when they have not set criteria, when they have not set a deadline, or like their ultimate, this is when we need to make a final decision kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what that looks like is, let's say we're coming up with a social media plan, right? And then we, as the agency, we introduce it to your committee. and your committee reviews it, but there is no official deadline of when they're going to do it, no official number of, how many times are they willing to edit it? How many times are they, who is the final decision maker? So if the committee can't come to a consensus, does that go to the board? So if it's a business, if the marketing person or team can't come to a consensus, is it the main owner? Is it the director? Who is the ultimate decision maker? And when do you pull them into the conversation? Is it after 2 iterations and then they get pulled in and they have final say? They get to pick which one. Is it by vote? What happens if there's a tie? You got to think about all of these scenarios, because if not, you're going to be working on whatever project it is, marketing, any budgeting, anything like that. You're going to be working on it forever. And I've been part of committees where we're working on something and the conversation runs long because there's not really any of that criteria. Yeah. So, and as an agency, it's frustrating because we keep going back and forth, right? And things get out of scope. Now we're charging you more because it went out of scope and there's extra iterations, and we have no idea when this is even going to go public.
Yeah. Or like what you mentioned earlier with the committee, some people don't show up. Some people don't show up. So let's, again, we got this campaign that we're going to start, and then Steve wasn't here for 2 weeks. He was in Colorado visiting family or something, and he didn't want to get on the calls. Then he comes back 2 weeks later after we're on the final decisions of this, and Steve's like, Timmy, I don't like this. And then we have to go back to square one because all of a sudden the person who was the loudest in the room has screwed it up for everybody. Yeah. And I feel like that's typically what people run into when it comes to these committees and different things. So like just having a process already lined out of how the meeting should go should ensure that won't happen.
Yeah.
And those struggles will lessen over time.
Yeah. And when working with an agency, I would say choose the one person who is in charge of that committee. That person, it'll be tough, but that person's the one that gets to say, Steve, you weren't here. We have already come to an agreement. And whatever you're if you send out notes or whatever, maybe we send out notes and you did not say anything. I know you were on vacation, but we are moving forward with this. It sucks, but yeah. And then if you are the marketer that's in there, you'll have to do that, because if people voted on it, you don't want to be working on something forever.
Yeah. What happens when leadership treats marketing as a task instead of a function?
Well, immediately I thought you might get fired, but you're easily replaceable.
Sounded like Abby Lee Miller right there. Everyone's replaceable.
I will write that down in my things to Google that Izzy says. So what happens when leadership treats marketing as a task rather than strategy? So if you have people that are like a marketer in your team or an agency and you start treating them as basically just task people, they will start acting as those task people. And then they just do whatever you say. If you say, you know what, our blue is this, but let's change it to this for just this one thing, they will start changing it because they feel like their input is not being taken seriously. You also don't have enough data. You're making decisions based on just gut feeling or what gut feeling, what feels nice. But there's no strategy. You don't have any KPIs. Why even market? Why are you even doing marketing at that point?
Yeah. Also, in the words of Abby Lee Miller, from Dance Moms, boring, yawning, sloppy, lazy. It's not getting done correctly, so it's not going to end up well for you. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. If you'd like to continue this conversation on Market Like It's Hot, check out part 2 of this podcast.
Perfect. Love it. Check us out. Yeah.
Can I pee real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
realized that Dunkin' Donuts has a bucket of coffee that they can give you. I also realized that Dunkin' Donuts, I actually have to ask for no creamer or very little creamer because my coffee, and we can keep this
It's
in.
disgusting. It's disgusting.
Okay, number one, Dunkin' Donuts, I asked for a large because I'm used to like 20 or 24 ounces being a large. It was not, it was huge.
Yeah.
I also forgot to ask, well, I said a splash of cream. I think they heard a splash of coffee because it looked like this and not like this. And this is not even that, maybe it should be more like my elbow. It should have been more like my elbow. And so I saved it. And the next day I used it as creamer.
You would have been disgusted with my high school order then because I hated coffee for a second in high school. And then I started to really like coffee, but I would go to Dunkin' and I would get double cream, double sugar in a coffee. Yeah, disgusting. Disgusting. I'm sure you could taste the grit of the sugar in the coffee. I don't know what was wrong with me.
I can't drink anything more than like skim milk. I don't like it because it feels like it's coating. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't stop me. It kind of tasted like ice cream. I'm like, yeah, no shit, it tasted like ice cream. You dumped a bunch of milk and sugar in there.
Yeah.